Her fingers could coax silk into patterns that seemed to breathe. Birds appeared to take flight across her cloth. Water rippled in threads of blue and silver. Flowers bloomed in such vivid crimson that people swore they could smell their perfume. People came from distant lands to marvel at her work, offering gold and precious gems for a single piece. "No one weaves like Amina," they whispered, and she believed them with her whole heart. Her gift had come early. As a child, she'd learned at her grandmother's loom, watching the old woman's weathered hands guide the shuttle. "Weaving is a conversation," her grandmother had said, "between the weaver and the thread, between the maker and those who will wrap themselves in warmth." But Amina heard only half the lesson. She mastered the technical skills while forgetting the spirit behind them. She stopped attending village gatherings, claiming her art required solitude. When neighbors invited her to festivals, she declined their simple celebrations would waste precious hours. When an old friend asked her to weave a wedding blanket, Amina refused, saying she no longer did common work. When her mother grew ill, Amina sent medicine and a beautifully embroidered shawl, but didn't visit, saying she was completing a masterpiece for the king. The masterpiece took 3 years. Every thread was perfect, every color precisely chosen. On the day she finished, Amina rolled the cloth and began her journey to the capital, imagining the king's amazement and the fortune she would earn. She didn't notice the storm gathering until rain soaked through her cloak. She didn't see the river rising until the bridge disappeared beneath brown water. She tried to cross anyway. The current seized her, tearing the cloth from her arms. She watched it unfurl and vanish downstream. 3 years of work dissolved in moments. Exhausted, she crawled to shore and collapsed. She woke in a stranger's hut, her body aching, her hands scraped raw. An old woman was warming broth over the fire. "You're fortunate," the woman said. "The river keeps what it takes. 3 travelers tried to cross this month. You're the only one it returned." Amina wept then, not gracefully, but with great, shuddering sobs that came from somewhere deep and long closed. She wept for the lost cloth, for her mother's face she'd never see again, for all the moments she'd traded for thread and glory. The woman sat beside her, saying nothing, simply present in her grief. When the tears finally stopped, the woman handed her the broth. "Drink," she said. "Sorrow is heavy work." For weeks, Amina stayed in that small village, too weary in spirit to leave. Her hands trembled when she tried to work. The people were poor, their clothes were plain and often mended, but they mended them together, talking and laughing as needles flashed. An elder showed her how to darn socks. A young mother taught her to patch a child's torn shirt with scraps, turning the repair into a playful design. They invited her to join them, never mentioning her famous name, treating her simply as another pair of hands. Her first stitches were clumsy, her hands remembering only perfection and balking at anything less. She had to relearn patience, had to accept that a crooked seam on a farmer's jacket mattered as much as silk for kings, perhaps more. For the farmer would feel the kindness stitched into every thread. But slowly, surrounded by patient voices and simple kindness, something in her loosened. She began to laugh again. She learned her helpers' names, their stories, their small, daily hopes. When Amina finally returned home, her fingers had not forgotten their gift. But now, when she wove, she kept her door open. Children watched and asked questions. Other weavers came to share techniques. The cloth Amina made was still beautiful, perhaps even more so. But now, woven into every piece were the voices of her village, the warmth of hands that had caught her when she fell, the truth she had learned in losing everything, that the finest thread is the one that binds us to each other.